Hello and welcome to episode 23 of Esalen Voice Podcast. I'm Kim Charlson, your host. And in this episode, Monty is going to be discussing how you can begin to collaborate with your spirit team on anything that you want. So let's get into it. Although we've talked about spirit teams before and the basics of channeling in our previous episodes, which I will link below in the show notes, Monty wanted to cover today how you can begin to start collaborating with your spirit team on anything that you need help with. Because there is at least one member of your spirit team that is there that wants to help you with whatever issues or challenges or questions that you have in your life right now. If you've been a listener for a while, you know that some episodes, Monty will say something at the end of like, your spirit team's always there to help you with this. But you may be wondering, okay, but I can't really sense them. I don't really know how to collaborate with them. What do I do? And maybe you've downloaded our free meditation that helps you connect with your spirit guides, but you still don't really know how to start working with them. So in today's episode, Monty covers the logistics of how do you actually start collaborating with your spirit team and what does that look like? And he breaks it down into a very easy to follow step-by-step process. But one of the things I want to talk about before you get into Monty's segment is it is totally normal to not be able to connect with your spirit team the first few times that you try, or even for the first few months, to be honest. It can be a really frustrating process for some people, and it was for me. When I first started trying to connect with my spirit guides, I could only do it when I was collaborating with my energy healer, and she was boosting up my energy in an energy healing session. Otherwise, when I was on my own and I'd be in meditations, and I tried following very similar meditations to the one that I've made for you all, it just didn't work. It didn't matter how much I tried, I could not connect with my spirit team. And after a while, I just gave up and decided, well, it's something for a certain group of people, but it's just not something I'm capable of. But I'm here to tell you that you are definitely capable of communicating with your spirit team. It may take a different form than what you have been exposed to. It may not be in meditation. And that's something that Monty talks about today, too, of allowing you to use your intuition wherever you are and no matter what conditions to collaborate with your spirit team. That's entirely and completely possible. But the thing that I found is that it did require a lot more energetic work of opening up my psychic senses, getting the energy flowing again. So if you are finding that you're really struggling to connect with your spirit team, even following what Monty has said or using the tools in some of our other podcasts, it may be just time for you to focus on your energy work and set aside your desire to communicate with your spirit guides. Focus on that for a while and then pick it back up again. So let's get into the channeled guidance from Monty and what he has to share about collaborating with your spirit team. Although we have covered how your spirit team works and how you can begin to gain confirmation from them, this does not answer how you can begin to work with them and to collaborate with them. Now that you understand their purpose and their goal and how you can begin to get confirmation from them, those are the first two steps that are necessary for connecting with your spirit team. But when you wish to elaborate on that connection, to collaborate actively as a participant in the relationship that you have with your spirit team, it takes a bit of nuanced intention. And so today in this episode, we will begin discussing what it requires for you to begin to collaborate and how you can start taking steps in your daily practices in life to enable you to get the most from your spirit team relationships. And as we have said before in our episodes about channeling, it is truly a relationship between you and what it is that you are channeling. And in this case, it is your spirit team. Now, it is important for you to understand that you already have a relationship with them. This has been cultivated over multiple lifetimes as they have been collaborating with you, whether or not you have been aware of it. But if you wish to intentionally collaborate with your spirit team and allow yourself to come into beneficial alignment with them, to allow you to work collectively towards your goals, what is required is that you are intentional about that relationship and that you actively develop it. So let us talk about how one can do that, and after having developed that relationship, the steps next to intentionally collaborate with your team. To begin to establish an intuitive intentional relationship with your spirit team, what is required is that you first set that intention that you wish to have a deeper relationship with your spirit team. It is required because your energy in a collaboration must be focused on your collaboration partner. In this case, while they are non-physical, you still need to set the intention that you are going to collaborate with them, so that way your consciousness will focus your attention and thus your energy onto that collaboration. As well, when you are collaborating with something in the non-physical, there is a certain amount of trust that you need to build with those participants, so that way your logical mind comes into a point of ease and letting go of control, so that way the collaboration is actually effective. To establish this relationship, after you have set the intention that this is truly what you want, the next step is to ask yourself, what is holding you back from connecting with your spirit team? This is always the second step, because there are many reasons why in physical human creation you have been told that it is not something that you should be doing, that you should be focused solely on physical creation and the physical manifestations that are around you, that is what reality is. But as you have been listening to this podcast for some time, you have come to an awareness that that is all a version of reality. It is one perspective, but it is not the truth. The truth is that there are participants you can collaborate with that are non-physical, in the same way that you are listening to us now, and we are non-physical. Collaborating with your spirit team is very much in the same way of allowing yourself to open to that possibility. So allowing yourself to explore the reasons why you think you cannot collaborate or should not collaborate with your spirit team is the next step, because all of these energetic blocks within yourself prevent you from maintaining that established intention that you set in the first step. Without maintaining that, and at times pulling your focus and attention away from that intention, you create a inconsistent connection with your team. So this is why sometimes you may feel, if you have done these first steps already, that you hear them sometimes and can collaborate with them, and other times you cannot. It is often because of those blocks that you have that are very logical in nature and very focused on the physical realm. Now, of course, some of those come from societal conditioning related to religion, related to control, but a lot of it is really truly from the fact that your focus has been for so long on physical manifestation and what you can see and touch and experience through physical means. Now, after you have assessed the things that are holding you back and you have created a more consistent connection, it is time to cultivate that connection. To cultivate that connection requires that you allow yourself to receive what they are sending to you, but also to send messages, intentions, and energy to them as well. It is that two-way connection that is required. You can do this by allowing yourself to come into meditation, and you may find that our resource that we have created of a spirit guide connection meditation may be helpful to you, but meditation is not actually required. It is a good place for beginners to start, because all of those blocks that you have now gained awareness of are easier to be attentive of when you are in a meditative state. That you can say, no, I am in this meditative state. I have set this intention. All of these other energies that I have within myself that are preventing me from maintaining that connection are not my concern right now. However, that is not required. You can instead allow yourself to collaborate with your spirit guides wherever you are, no matter what you are doing or what your emotional state is in. Now, it does take practice, but it is possible that you could be in the most lowest vibrational, emotionally difficult situation possible, and yet you are still able to connect with your spirit team. They are very much closer to you than any other type of being, and can modulate their energy much more actively to coordinate in physical manifestation. So it is not required that you lift your energy to quite as high of a spot as we have talked about previously when we speak about channeling. Now, what you can do if you do not wish to use meditation is just allow yourself to quiet your mind for a moment and to create that connection. Just with your intention is all that is required. To allow yourself to just send the energy towards your spirit team and say, I am establishing this connection. I am sending you love and appreciation, knowing that you are there, and I am receiving whatever it is that you wish to send to me now. And notice what it is that you receive. Remember that when you begin, you may sense nothing. That does not mean that they are not there. It is merely that it may be not the time, or that your blocks are too active, or that your focus is truly energetically someplace else. Allow yourself to do this repeatedly. You can do it as many times in a day as you like, or you can do it every morning, whatever suits your routines and what feels gentle and easy to you. After you have started to collaborate in this way and to cultivate this connection, the next step is really truly building trust. And how you can do this is by getting to know your spirit team. There will be usually certain individuals that make themselves known to you. It is not necessary that you know their names, but rather know their purposes, their energies, and why they are there and want to collaborate with you. Once that has been established through allowing them to share and asking them questions, the next step is to ask them questions and get to know them just as you would anyone else. Just because they are in the non-physical does not mean that asking them questions as you would a new friend is out of bounds. In fact, that helps to establish that trust, to build that rapport, and allow you to feel that connection deepen with your spirit team and certain individuals. You will find that over time, as you ask questions, they will also share with you more about themselves, but also perspectives on your life and next steps and what they wish to share with you. And then this is when you can begin to truly collaborate with them because you have awareness of where their skills lie and their interests lie and what they are there for to work with you upon. And then you can begin to ask them questions on that and allow yourself to receive their expert guidance because they truly are experts on the thing that they are there to work with you on. If you ask a spirit guide something that is not within their expertise or their focus, they may have a hard time answering those questions. And they will do their best, but it may not be as accurate or as helpful as possible. So that is why building that established trust in the beginning, getting to know them, understanding their purpose, and getting to understand their energy will help you so much more in having an effective collaboration with different members of your team. You can as well collaborate with your team as a large collective if that suits you better. You can hear them in a collective voice. Now, it is important to understand that a collective voice is still unified as a single voice, but you will know innately within yourself that that voice is coming from many members rather than just one. But it will feel as though it is one voice. That is important to understand. If you are hearing instead or sensing instead multiple different energies, ask them to slow down and to speak with you one at a time. That way you can focus your attention on that particular collaboration to move forward. Now, what kinds of things you can collaborate on is anything that you desire. It could be very practical things such as next steps in your life or your career or your relationships, or it could be in your spiritual growth and helping you come to a larger and more expanded understanding of your spiritual perspectives. All of these are different avenues that you can explore, but it is important that you collaborate with the appropriate member of your team. So if there is a new interest that you are cultivating and you have established a connection to one individual on your team, that does not mean that you cannot establish a new relationship with someone else. The established relationship will always be there when you need it. So you need not worry about focusing on one more than the other, as your life will grow and change and the needs and collaborations will change with it. Now, we hope that this has given you sufficient information, but again, we encourage you to set the intention on your own and decide that this is a collaboration that you would truly want. That is the first step. Reflect on why you would like such a collaboration and what you would like out of it, as this intention helps set the tone for that establishment and developing that relationship and which members of your team may come forward in individual collaboration. We send you great love in this grand experiment and look forward to hearing more about your own expertise and experiments and how you are growing and changing with your team. That is all. I love that Monty talked about in this episode that it's not just about being in a meditative state, that you can communicate with your guides, and it doesn't matter if you're in a really low vibrational state. That's one of the things that I have started to really reevaluate in my own way that I speak about working with spirit guides. I would always say, you got to be up here, you got to elevate your vibration to be able to talk with them. But the more and more that I have learned all of the different ways that others collaborate with their spirit guides, that's not always the case. For me, that is definitely how my energy works. Most of the time, my energy is very closed off. I'm not really available for my spirit guides kind of popping in all the time, sharing little tidbits of information, and then moving on. My energy is not really available to that. And everybody's energy works differently. Whereas other people I know in my life that collaborate with their spirit guides, that's how they work with them. So you may find that sitting quietly in meditation is not how you connect with your spirit guides, that it's more of a sense of tuning in and receiving, and then trusting and knowing that it's from your spirit team if that's your intention, and trusting that intention is enough to connect with them. If you want some more help, you can download our free meditation that Monty and I designed together, and you can find that in the show notes below. And if you want more channeled guidance like this, you can join us for a one-to-one session where you can ask Monty 8 to 10 questions in a 90-minute session, or you can join us in the Awaken Authenticity community for specific exercise that Monty is guiding us through every week to work on our energy and to keep growing in our spirituality. So we'll see you in the next episode.